Fodder Hunters. Getting a hunter license in the Hunter x Hunter universe is no joke. To even qualify, you need to take and pass the hunter exam ran by the Hunter Association. The exam location changes every year, and so do the number of phases and tasks thrown at applicants. Usually, you're looking at around 5 or 6 phases. But before you can even reach the main exam site, you have to get through the preliminaries that weed out anyone deemed too weak to handle what's coming. Take the captain, transporting exam hopefuls on his ship as an example. He straight up dismissed everyone who got seasick during a storm. The numbers are brutal too. Only 1 in 10,000 hopefuls actually make it to the main exam. Once you're in, the main exam tests you across 3 major areas: physical ability, mental acuity, and overall impression. Because so many people want to become hunters, and because the position comes with serious benefits, but also serious dangers, the exam phases are incredibly difficult. Plenty of applicants end up either dead or permanently injured. During the 287th Hunter exam, promising candidates like Garetta, Sapur, and Bodoro didn't just fail, they died. The stats show that rookies only pass once every 3 years on average. So yeah, getting that hunter license is a massive achievement. It proves you got real potential and ability. But as the series goes on, we learned that not all licensed hunters are actually as capable as you think. Just like in any other shonen series, Hunter x Hunter also has its share of fodder hunters. These are expendable, weak, or unimportant characters who exist mainly to show how powerful the main protagonists or antagonists really are. They're often nameless background figures, or sometimes even named characters who get completely outmatched in fights, essentially becoming cannon fodder. Greed Island is where we saw tons of these fodder hunters. The place is a dangerous video game designed specifically for hunters since you need nin just to enter. Despite the requirement, many players ended up getting killed by the bombers. They basically existed just to show how terrifying Ginthru's abilities were. The 13th Hunter chairman election gave us an even clearer picture. Most of the professional hunters in existence showed up to vote, and Hisoka was there during the first round, secretly rating all the hunters using his own personal scale. Say what you want about Hisoka being weird, but when it comes to evaluating abilities and analyzing personalities, he's probably the best at it. He even has his own method for identifying nin types based purely on personality, so nobody could give it a more accurate assessment than him. While sizing up all the professional hunters at the election site, Hisoka is straight up disappointed by their power levels. He even thinks to himself that if they're this weak, he might as well fight the Zodiacs next. Hisoka is definitely no ordinary hunter, but that thought process alone tells you everything about what these unnamed hunters can or can't do. The Mafia community in Hunter x Hunter's world is also cutthroat competition. Most Mafia families hire professional hunters to boost their manpower and influence. The Mafia-affiliated hunters we met in York New City arc are basically fodder since they existed just to get brutally murdered by the Phantom Troop. The hunters affiliated with the Kakian Empire's Mafia family seem a bit more promising, but it's probably only a matter of time before the Phantom Troop or the ruthless Kakian princes turn them into fodder as well. Regular licensed hunters. After someone passes the hunter exam, gets their hunter license, and completes the secret exam where they learn nin, they're considered rookies until they settle on a particular area of specialization. Out of the 4 main characters, only Kurapika has chosen his path by becoming a blacklist hunter, which is a type of hunter whose skills focus on tracking down dangerous and wanted criminals. Gon, Killua, and Leorio haven't picked an area of specialization yet, so they're still classified as rookies even at this point in the series. Once a hunter chooses a particular field, they could climb up the ranks by earning stars. The Hunter Association has a star system where stars get awarded to hunters for their contributions to the association and society in 1 or more areas. From what we know about the Hunter Association star system, you do need an area specialization to earn stars. The recurring theme throughout all these rankings is the emphasis on in a particular field or in their area of expertise. Stars are basically recognition of excellence and contribution within a specific domain of hunting. We're talking about beast hunters, virus hunters, gourmet hunters, sea hunters, ruins hunters, treasure hunters, and many other types. To support this idea, most of the starred hunters in the series belong to a particular field. The only exception might be Pariston Hill, who may or may not have an area specialization. If Pariston doesn't belong to any field, then the star system might not actually require you to be locked into one area to earn stars. It's also possible that having a specialization just makes it easier to categorize achievements and recognize the field where contributions were made. While stars show a hunter's merit and contributions to society, they're not a direct combat benefit. They're more like prestigious recognition of significant achievements in various hunting fields. The star system recognizes mastery and innovation within specific hunter disciplines rather than just general hunter competence. This means stars don't represent someone's fighting ability or their levels of strength. Non-star hunters can be just as strong as or even stronger than starred hunters when it comes to actual combat. We saw proof of this when Hisoka, who doesn't have any stars, easily beats the single-star blacklist hunter Bushidora and the double-star headhunter Teradine. Stars aren't also the requirement to qualify for any official position in the Hunter Association. A rookie like Leorio and a non-star blacklist hunter like Kurapika both made it into the Zodiacs. Even Isaac Netro, who didn't have any area specialization or star merits that we know of, became the chairman of the Hunter Association. Unless he had these merits, but they weren't clearly mentioned in this series, which is entirely possible. Being a regular licensed hunter is still an achievement on its own. Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio have all proven their value without stars attached to their names. Other notable unclassified hunters who haven't been shown earning stars include Kite, Hisoka, Wing, Illumi, Shalanark, Nav, and Hanzo, although they might hold merits that haven't been revealed. Kite, for example, may have already reached single-star status by the time the Kakian Empire brought him in to lead their wildlife exploration team. For what you know, not having stars doesn't reduce their status or capability as hunters. On the flip side, you got the less flashy regular licensed hunters who would rather work in bureaucratic roles than go out in the field for combat. The Hunter Association has tons of staff working in the office handling association's daily operations. So as a regular licensed hunter, you could be out there like Gon wrecking powerful enemies with Jajunkin, or you could be like Beans pushing papers at headquarters.
GamerSupps is an energy and nootropic formula designed to be a healthier, cheaper, and more effective beverage over energy drinks for gamers or the modern anime weeb on the go. Its blend of essential vitamins, caffeine, and nootropics provide a consistent boost with no jitters and no crash. It has 0 sugar, less than 1 carb, and less than 1 calorie per serving, so it's keto and diabetic safe. Plus, there's sugar-free options. I personally drink it all the time to be able to grind out these straight-to-the-point and informative videos for you guys, and they'll likely be the only sponsor you'll ever see on this channel. So help the channel stay mostly sponsor-free by clicking the link in our description, picking from the many tasty and uniquely named flavors on the website, and use our code ANIMEX at checkout to save 10% on your order. It would be a huge help for us. Also, pick yourself up a aesthetically interesting waifu cup while you're at it too. They're collectible. But anyway.
Single-star hunters. 1 star is given to hunters who have achieved something remarkable in their field, making them eligible for promotion as a single-star hunter. It's still unclear whether a hunter needs to officially register in a specialization to earn a star, but so far every single-star hunter we know belongs to a specific area of expertise. A standout example is Moro Makanese, a sea hunter. This type of hunter works in the oceans, whether searching for rare creatures or uncovering lost treasures. Moro's lungs are extraordinary, letting him stay underwater far longer than most people, and he confidently claims that no one can match him in that regard. He's the only known sea hunter in the series, though the specific feat that earned him a star hasn't been revealed. It could have been the discovery of a new sea species or a major treasure haul. Moro also mentors 2 disciples, Knuckle Bine and Shoot McMahon, both of who are beast hunters, but who haven't earned any stars. What really pushed Moro into the spotlight was his role in the Chimera Ant Extermination Team, a group handpicked by Chairman Netero himself. Even in the middle of battle with dangerous Chimera Ants, he kept his composure, outsmarting enemies with calm strategies and his versatile nin ability, Deep Purple. With his massive pipe, he pumps out huge amounts of smoke that he can shape into basically anything he wants. Ropes, grass, houses, rafts, rabbits, nin beasts, and even full copies of people that can talk and move with impressive strength and speed. The catch is that if someone touches these smoke copies, they'll immediately recognize it's fake. You can also tell them apart from real people if you use N, though regular aura sensing won't do the trick. He can change the smoke's color to make his creations look more realistic. He uses this to camouflage himself in different environments. He can also adjust how durable his constructs are, making them tough enough to be practically indestructible. The flexibility of Deep Purple is so ridiculous that he straight up claims that he hasn't met anyone with a more versatile nin ability. His most complicated creations are the Smoke Troopers. He creates cores that contain simple manipulation commands, like attacking defensively and retreating when they run into enemies. Then, he covers these cores with smokes and shapes them into his troopers, which operate on autopilot after that. There is a possibility that the cores aren't always necessary since he has made troopers directly from smoke he just exhaled. When he does it this way, the troopers seem to follow direct orders from him instead of running on preset commands. Another theory is that he can form these cores remotely while simultaneously shaping their smoke into his constructs. He can make up to 216 dolls maximum. When he wants quality over quantity, he compresses that number down to 50 dolls instead. He actually uses these constructs to lay siege of the capital city in Beijing, fighting against Neferpitu's control puppets to mess with the selection process. These compressed dolls become way more sophisticated than his regular ones, and even Neferpitu admits their quality beats the puppets under their control. Deep Purple has a limit on Moro's aura output, but when he dispels his constructs, he gets all that aura back and can use it again. Combining his calm demeanor, sharp intelligence, and superhuman lung capacity with his versatile nin ability, Moro manages to take down Chitu, the fastest squadron leader, and Leol, the lion-like squadron leader. During his mental showdown with Poof, he uses Smoky Jail, where he traps both himself and his opponent inside an unbreakable smoke barrier. This barrier can be broken from either the inside or the outside. Even Minthu through Youpi can't damage it with regular attacks or explosions. The only things that can pass through are particle-sized bodies, which is exactly how Poof clones managed to escape. But Poof's main body can't shrink smaller than a bee, so he's still stuck inside the prison. He decides to play mind games with Moro by pretending to transform into a cocoon. Moro gets stuck for a while, not knowing what to do. Eventually though, he assumes Poof has already escaped and is just using the cocoon to stall for time. Desperation starts setting in, so Moro destroys the cocoon and confirms it's empty. What he doesn't notice is Poof's main body hiding behind the cocoon debris. Before Moro can process what's happening, he deactivates Smoky Jail, which lets the real Poof escape. This leads to Moro's defeat. Even though he absolutely gets crushed by Poof and Youpi spares him out of pity, there's no question that Moro contributed massively to bringing down the Chimera Ants. Another notable single-star hunter is Susagera, who is a jackpot hunter. His entire goal is making money, so he seeks out rich people and makes deals and contracts with them. He already had his 1 star before Batera hired him to help him complete the Greed Island game. His reputation as a single-star hunter probably explains why Batera put him in charge of selecting and leading other skilled nin users to clear the game. Then there's Minchi, a gourmet hunter who serves as one of the 2 examiners during the second phase of the 287th hunter exam. She supposedly is the best gourmet hunter in the entire world, and her contributions to culinary culture have been invaluable. She earned her star when she was just 21 years old. We never actually see her nin ability in the series, but she's incredibly strong and agile. She proved this by demonstrating how to get a spider eagle's egg. She's also an expert with knives, as she can wield and juggle multiple knives while spinning them at high speeds. Bushidora Ambitious is another single-star hunter who specializes as a blacklist hunter. On top of that, he's a member of the Hunters Association Disciplinary Committee and pushed hard for revising the 10 rules for hunter. Unfortunately, this single-star hunter gets treated like a fodder hunter when he and his team try to stop Illumi Hisoka after Illumi turns a bunch of civilians into Needle People. When they clash with Hisoka, he wipes out Bushidora and his entire team without any effort at all. With that being said, single-star hunters show that recognition don't always mean survival in the hunter world. Some, like Moro, cement their status through pivotal battles, while others like Bushidora end up as complete throwaways despite their titles. Double Star Hunters. 2 stars are awarded to hunters who meet 3 major conditions. They must fulfill the first 5 articles of the hunter bylaws, hold an official position, and have at least 1 student they've trained who has already earned a star. This means only single-star hunters can even qualify for this promotion in the first place. Moro could actually be a candidate for this promotion. His role in the Chimera Ant extermination mission was massive, and both his students, Knuckle and Shoot, played a major part as well. If either of them were awarded a star, it could help push his promotion forward. The only thing holding Moro back is that he doesn't currently occupy any official position within the Hunter Association, which is one of the requirements. Among the double star hunters, the most well known is Jing Freaks. While most fans recognize him as Gon's absentee father, the association recognizes him as a double star ruins hunter. This specialization focuses on uncovering, restoring, and preserving ruins with the goal of reviving ancient societies. After earning his license, Jing dedicated himself to archaeological work, pouring his own resources into preserving ruins and making them accessible to the world. His efforts set the gold standard for ruins management, and ruin hunters like Satots hold him in the highest regard. It's said that Jing has accumulated enough wealth and influence to rival the leader of a country. The only confirmed student we know about is Kite, so Kite was probably the single-star student that qualified Jing for his promotion, although Kite earning a star wasn't explicitly mentioned in the series. Jing also sat among the Zodiacs, the Hunter Association's top council composed of 12 elite hunters chosen by Chairman Netero himself. Beyond his ruins work, Jing was also one of the creators of the nin-based game Greed Island, a dangerous video game meant only for hunters. Greed Island pulls players' actual bodies into its world, only letting them out if they die, and yes, that means they die in real life too, clear the game, or use a special way to leave. Only nin users can enter the game, and the main reward for beating it is being able to bring 3 cards back into the real world. These aren't ordinary collectibles. We're talking about game-breaking cards that can heal diseases or fatal injuries, make you younger, generating half a kilo of gold every single day, turn water into wine, or even make a man pregnant. The sheer variety of effects make these cards priceless. Batera, a billionaire, poured his fortune into buying up copies of the game and hiring skilled hunters to finish it, all because one of these cards could wake his lover from a coma that had lasted over 13 years. The existence of these miracle-like items alone shows just how far Jing's nin mastery went into designing the game. Despite being qualified for a triple star license, Jing hasn't applied, partly due to his stubbornness and dislike of attention. Chairman Netero himself once told Biscuit that Jing was among the 5 best nin users alive. We haven't seen Jing's real nin ability fully revealed in the series, but he gave us a taste of what he can do when he copied Leorio's remote punch. He didn't just copy it either. He enhanced the technique by adding ultrasound to detect targets through any obstacle and shoot aura projectiles that can phase through the obstacle without damaging it while hitting only the intended targets. His actual nin ability remains a mystery. Another notable double star hunter is Biscuit Kruger, a stone hunter who travels the world hunting for rare and valuable items. When she learned that a rare blue gemstone could only be found in Greed Island, she signed up as one of Batera's players to get her hands on that gem. She met Gon and Killua there, and they immediately catch her interest. She sees the boys as unpolished gems and take it upon herself to train them and unlock their true potential. This training becomes a major turning point for the two boys, helping them discover their real strength and capabilities. Biscuit started learning nin when she was 17 years old. As a Shingen Ryu master and nin teacher, she has mentored countless students over the years, and some of them likely became single-star hunters themselves. Before training Gon and Killua, she revealed that Wing was one of her students. Wing could have been her single-star student that qualifies her for double-star status, or it might have been someone else entirely. She also mentioned that she was once hired as an examiner for a hunter exam. Biscuit has the ability to change her appearance to look younger and way less muscular, but this transformation severely reduces her physical abilities. While she mainly does this for aesthetic reasons, it also lets her hide her true power and keep a trump card ready for battle. She loves using her younger appearance to deceive people and gain advantages, like asking for favors or getting information by pretending to be frail. She can switch back to her original form whenever she wants, which restores her full height and muscle mass. She showed her true form twice in the series. The first time was during her battle against Bara, who she destroyed with one punch, and the second time was during a sparring match with Killua while training the boys to prepare them for their fights against Knuckle and Shoot. Other known double-star hunters include crime hunter Mizai Storm Nana and problem hunter Sacho Kobayakawa. Both of them are members of the Zodiacs. Having Jing, Biscuit, and Mizai Storm in this category shows you that double-star rank doesn't mess around with weak hunters. But then you have Teradine Neutral, a double-star head hunter who holds the position as a human resource specialist. Unlike his peers, Teradine gets treated like complete fodder when Hisoka casually walks into his office and kills him without effort. Triple Star Hunters. Triple Star status is the highest recognition a hunter can achieve. To qualify, a hunter must first meet the first 6 articles of the Hunter Bylaws and make remarkable contributions in multiple fields. Only double-star hunters are eligible to move up, and the promotion is extremely rare. Out of more than 600 hunters in the association, only about 10 have ever reached this level, and just 3 have been shown in the series. One of them is Periston Hill, the 12th vice chairman of the Hunter Association and a Zodiac. Periston is one of the most mysterious figures introduced, with a dazzling charm that hides just how cunning and unpredictable he really is. He was appointed vice chairman 3 years before Netero's death, largely because Netero enjoyed how Periston constantly challenged him. During his tenure, he managed the business affairs of the association, and his authority as vice chairman placed him just under Netero, outranking his fellow Zodiacs. His real influence went beyond the title. By controlling the review board, he wielded power in areas where even Netero had limited sway. His time in the office was also marked by troubling patterns. 18 hunters went missing in 3 years, an average of 6 per year compared to less than 1 annually before his term. He was also tied to a scandal when funds from his temp agency ended up in his account. He dismissed it as a misunderstanding, claiming the money was meant as a reserve for strengthening the association. His actions after the palace invasion raised even more questions. He dispatched 100 airships to East Corto, secretly relocating 5,000 human chimera ant hybrids to NGL. He seemed confident in their loyalty, effectively giving himself a private army of potential nin users. After resigning from the Zodiacs and handing over the chairman to Cheadle, he joins Beyond Netero's team for an expedition to the Dark Continent. Turns out, Periston became a hunter specifically to prepare for Beyond's expedition to the Dark Continent. He orchestrated the administration of Beyond's followers into the Hunter Association until Jing took over his nominal authority. Pearson's actual power level remains completely unknown. He often claims to be weak, but he accuses Jing of underestimating him, when Jing said that Marione was the strongest among Beyond's followers. He is arguably one of the smartest characters in the entire series, matching Jing when it comes to pure intellect. Another known triple-star hunter is Cheadle Yorkshire, a disease hunter who searches for new elements to cure diseases that currently have no treatment. She's also a member of the Zodiacs and acts as the figurehead of the pro-Netero faction in the Hunter Association, which makes her absolutely despise Periston. During the 13th Hunter Chairman election, she comes in second to Periston in the earlier rounds, but drops down to third in the later rounds. She makes it to the final four and decides to throw her support behind Leorio instead. She believes Leorio's sudden surge in popularity will be enough to defeat Periston. Her plan falls apart when Gon shows up fully healed, which kills Leorio's motivation to win the election. To make matters worse, Gon gives his vote to Periston since Leorio wanted to be a doctor, not a chairman. Despite being annoyed, she accepts her defeat. Periston wins and gets elected chairman, but immediately after nominating Cheeto as his vice chairman, he steps down from the position. Furious, she chases after him when he leaves the room and gets completely shocked when she sees him crying about Netero's death. Periston warns her not to make a boring Hunter Association, or he'll really make fun of her. As the chairman of the Hunter Association, Cheeto has the highest authority among all hunters, and gets access to all the privileges that come with the position. Her combat abilities and nin powers haven't been revealed yet, but she used to be Netero's sparring partner. Kanzai believes that she was stronger than both Moro and Nav, and as a law scholar and doctor, she has extensive knowledge in both jurisprudence and medicine. Her status as a triple-star disease hunter shows that she has made discoveries of extreme importance in the medical field. The third known triple-star hunter is Botobai Gigante, a terrorist hunter who also happens to be the eldest member of the Zodiacs. Botobai's authority in the Hunter Association ranks second only to Cheeto herself. As a triple-star terrorist hunter, Botobai has access to assets and information that even pro-hunters can't get their hands on. His status suggests that he has massive knowledge about security and anti-terrorist measures, which makes sense since he's also a military analyst. His skills extend to the legal field as well since he works as a public prosecutor too. His status as a former sparring partner of Isaac Netero speaks volumes about his skill with Nin. So far, the full power of a triple-star hunter hasn't been revealed, but with figures like Periston, Cheeto, and Botobai, the rank carries weight far beyond simple prestige. It represents mastery across disciplines, political influence, and in some cases, enough cunning to rival even the strongest hunters in the association. Elite Hunters. The Elite Hunters are the highest tier of what the association has to offer. Recognized for their skills, achievements, and the weight they carry within the organization, most of them are decorated with stars, though that isn't a strict requirement. Even without stars, a hunter can still be considered elite if their accomplishments speak for themselves. The star system itself is less about combat ability and more about recognition in a specialized field. A hunter earns a star for groundbreaking work or innovation in their area of expertise, so it's not a direct measure of fighting power. Some of the best examples of elite hunters can be found among the association's staff advisors. These are the people who work alongside the chairman and vice chairman, handling responsibilities not explicitly detailed in the hunter bylaws. The chairman can also grant them additional authority when needed, such as overseeing the election of a new chairman. Under Isaac Netero, there were 11 advisors. Along with the vice chairman, they formed a group known as the Zodiacs. This group included Periston, Jing, Cheeto, Mizaistam, Botobai, Ginta, Kanzai, Payan, Gel, Sacho, Sayu, and Cluck. As their name suggests, each member carries a codename based on the Chinese zodiac, and many have even altered their appearance to match the sign they represented. The Zodiacs weren't just Netero's closest counselors. They were also entrusted with his confidence in times of crisis, and he even sparred with them personally. Their position carried immense influence, though exactly how much of their authority depends on the sitting chairman is less clear. For example, their role in running the 13th chairman election was only possible because Netero himself had authorized them. After his passing, Periston was able to appoint Cheeto as his successor without consulting the others, showing that their influence isn't absolute. Still, as advisors, they have the power to make decisions in areas where the hunter bylaws don't provide direction. According to the bylaws, the chairman can also replace advisors, so their position isn't guaranteed. In terms of hierarchy, they rank just below the vice chairman. Membership requirements are vague as well. Netero handpicked the original members based on his own judgment and interests, rather than clear qualifications. Inside the Zodiacs, there are also political divisions. Payan, Sayu, and Cluck were reformists who wanted to change the way the association operated, earning them the label of Hawks. Ginta, Cheeto, Mizaistam, and Botobai acted as moderates, balancing tradition with reform and aligning more closely with Netero's approach to governance. Gel, Kanzai, and Sacho leaned more liberal and didn't take strong political stances. Periston, with his manipulative and deceptive nature, couldn't be placed neatly into any camp. Mizaistam once described him as an extreme left patriot, though even he admitted that it was just his way of expressing how unreadable Periston was. Jing, in contrast, was written off simply as stubborn idiot. After Periston and Jing stepped down from their positions to join Beyond Netero's team in his expedition to the Dark Continent, Cheeto, the current chairwoman of the Hunter Association, decides to recruit 2 new members to fill the vacant spots. Around this time, King Nasubi of the Kakian Empire announced his country's own Dark Continent expedition, which would be led by Beyond himself. A recording left by Isaac Netero confirmed that he had anticipated such an event and instructed the Zodiacs to organize a more successful mission than his sons. When the Zodiacs met with Beyond, he handed himself over and was imprisoned by the Association. He claimed he would eventually be released and insisted that the Hunters would accompany him to the Dark Continent. Cheeto didn't believe him, but admitted privately that he carried a strong resemblance to Netero. Realizing this is a battle, she expanded involvement beyond just the Zodiacs, and decided that the entire association would take part. Cheeto reached out to Leorio, offering him a place among the Zodiacs. Given his rising reputation after the election, he was one of the most respected hunters available. She warned him of the dangers, but he accepted the role and also nominated Kurapika. Cheeto approved, and Mizai Stom was sent to recruit him. Neither Kurapika nor Leorio had earned any stars, and Leorio even lacks a field of specialization. And yet, that didn't disqualify them from membership. For the Dark Continent expedition, the Zodiac split into 4 teams based on expertise. The science team, led by Cheeto, included Gale and Leorio, focusing on medical organization. The fauna team, with Cluck and Ginta, specialized in gathering plants and ecological data. The intelligence team, made up of Kurapika, Mizai Stom, Payan, and Sacho, handled information on Beyond and the Kakian Empire, and even developed language software in case of contact with new civilizations. Finally, the defense team, with Bodobai, Kanzai, and Sayu, oversaw Beyond's supervision while also providing security for the expedition. Outside the Zodiacs, other groups within the association are also considered elite, such as the Exam Commission. This body is responsible for organizing and running the Hunter exam, including selecting the examiners. Examiners are chosen by a board each year and work without pay, but the position carries enormous weight. Because the exam is such a crucial process, only highly capable hunters are trusted with it. Biscuit was revealed to have been chosen as an examiner for a previous hunter exam, and we already know what this double-star hunter is capable of. During the 287th hunter exam, we got introduced to Satots, Minchi, Buhara, and Lippo. Lippo, for example, is a blacklist hunter. Although it wasn't mentioned if he has stars, his accomplishments include the capture of Jonas the Dissector, the most notorious mass murderer in Zalban City's history. This might suggest that he's attained at least 1 star. Hunters like Biscuit and Lippo really give hunter examiners a formidable reputation. But as usual, Hisoka shows up to flip the script. When Hisoka took the 286th hunter exam, he deemed Togari unworthy as an examiner and beat him down shamelessly, which resulted in his disqualification. Togari returned in the 287th hunter exam once again, this time working under Lippo to get his opportunity for revenge on Hisoka. Togari confronts Hisoka in a hidden room in Trick Tower and challenges him to a rematch. Unsurprisingly, that didn't go well for him when Hisoka decapitates him, killing him for good. So yeah, if you need someone to bring any prestigious title to shame, Hisoka's your guy. Legendary Hunters. Like Elite Hunters, Legendary Hunters isn't an official rank in Hunter x Hunter. The title is more of a fan term, reserved for hunters whose names and feats echo across the association and beyond. These are individuals who aren't just skilled, but remembered as true icons of the hunter world. And if there's one name that embodies that more than anyone else, it's Isaac Netero. The details of how Netero became a hunter and learned men remain a mystery, but his mastery made him known as the most powerful nin user in the world. At one point in his life, he fought Maha Zoldyck, one of the most dangerous figures alive, and came out of it alive, something no one else is known to have done. That encounter made him an acquaintance of the Zoldyck family. Netero's road to becoming a legend was defined by his obsession with martial arts. At the age of 46, convinced that he already reached his peak, he went to the mountains to train alone. There he developed a ritual of 10,000 punches and prayers every single day. He kept this up for 2 years. One day, he finished his punches before sunset and realized that he had grown far stronger than he imagined. 2 more years later, by the age of 50, he was completing the ritual in under an hour, leaving him the rest of the day for prayer and reflection. That discipline granted him not only enlightenment, but also inhuman speed and power. When he finally returned to his dojo, he demonstrated his new abilities. He could strike faster than sound itself, leaving the onlookers stunned. The Grandmaster of the dojo was moved to tears, humbled by the display of strength and grace. He offered his own title to Netero, who accepted on one simple condition, of being served food first. This marked the rise of the Shigen Ryu Kung Fu, passed on through Netero's training. He eventually became a hunter and took part in 2 expeditions to the Dark Continent, one of them unofficial alongside Zig Zoldyck and Line Order. Both times he returned alive, but he was left unsatisfied. The Dark Continent offered no victories, only survival. This drove his desire to reach a level of strength that could triumph even in impossible conditions. Later, when his son Beyond had led his own expedition, Netero forbade him from going back and worked with the V5 to declare the Dark Continent off limits, even for the association. His long career eventually led him to be elected as the 12th chairman of the Hunter Association. In the series, his first appearance comes during the 287th Hunter exam when he arrives to convince Minchi to reconsider her decision of failing all examinees. His intervention settles the issue and the Hunter exam goes on smoothly after that. At first, he seems playful, mischievous, and even absent-minded, so much so that Killua briefly thinks that he could beat the old man if he lost control of his bloodlust. Of course, Killua had yet to understand what kind of monster Netero really was, so we'll give him a pass on that infamous blunder. The real showcase of what the most powerful nin user in the world can do happens during his battle with the Chimera Ant King. Facing this absurdly powerful creature, Netero brings out his ultimate technique, the 100-type Guanyin Bodhisattva. He summons this massive multi-armed nin statue behind him that looks like the Buddhist deity Guanyin. When Netero wants to attack, he puts his hand together like he's praying. One of the statue arms then slams down on the target, moving in sync with Netero's hand movements. Just one palm strike from this thing launched Pitou so far away that the Royal Guard couldn't even process what just happened. The statue has so many arms that Meruem thought the number of possible attack combinations was basically infinite. Throughout the fight with Meruem, Netero pulls out different techniques. First hand involves a chopping motion that makes the statue chop down on the target. Third hands has him clap his hands, which makes the statue clap the target between two palms, crushing whatever is caught in between. 99th hand is when he makes this specific sign with his fingers that resemble the number 99. The statue then unleashes an absolute storm of palm strikes using all of its arms at once. This attack hits with such ridiculous force that it carves deep craters into the ground. His absolute strongest move and final option is Zero Hand. Netero prays with everything he has while raising just one hand. The statue materializes behind the enemy and gently cups them between its palms. Then, it gathers every single bit of Netero's remaining aura into its mouth and fires it out as this massive blast of pure destructive energy. Even after getting hit by Zero Hand, Meruem emerges with barely any damage. This just proves just how massive the gap is between humans and the Chimera Ants when you're talking about pure physical strength. But right in that moment, Netero, who represented the absolute peak of human ability, demonstrated what humans can really do when survival is on the line. He made the ultimate sacrifice by detonating a toxic bomb that had been implanted in his own heart. This bomb would eventually kill Meruem and destroy the entire Chimera Ant invasion. Sure, Netero lost the actual fight, but the sheer scale and power he displayed makes this one of the most legendary battles in anime history. Beyond his personal feat, Netero's reputation was also tied to the groups he was a part of. After becoming a hunter, he joined the Pure Paladin Squad, a team so skilled they were remembered as legends themselves. It wasn't stated how many members it had and who these members are, leaving these legendary hunters shrouded in mystery. The squad was eventually disbanded under unknown circumstances, though Teradine, Bushidora, and Lupe once attempted to reform it during the chairman election. Their effort ended abruptly when Hisoka killed both Teradine and Bushidora. Of course, the conversation about legendary hunters doesn't end with Netero. Jing also deserves the title. Netero himself ranked Jing among the top 5 nin users alive. As a ruins hunter, Jing has set the standard for his field, and he also co-created Greed Island, a complex nin-based game that requires the abilities of multiple highly skilled users to bring to life. The sheer scale of the project shows how far his mastery of nin goes. Unlike Netero, who's gone now, Jing hasn't really revealed what he can actually do. His true nin ability is still completely unknown, which just makes his legendary reputation even more intriguing.